Hi, this is a demonstration video for a Sansui AU-G99X. This is an integrated amplifier. Made in the mid-80s, I believe around 1986. This thing is big and heavy, about 36 pounds. It's got a big toroidal transformer inside, and the specs are really good on this thing. I mean, looking at about 160 watts per channel into 8 ohms. It's got some nice features. I'll show you on back first, just to get that out of the way. Incidentally, the case is kind of nice. It doesn't have the screws on the side, so they're built it a little differently, so you don't see any screw heads. I'll show you around back here. So you got your typical inputs. You got your phono, tuner, CD, auxiliary, and then your tape 1 and tape 2. Record and playbacks. And there is a serial number for reference. And there's the model number. Made in Japan. And then down here we've got our speaker connectors, power outlets, and this unit even has the switches on it for the impedance of your speakers, so you can set that accordingly, 8 to 16 ohm or 4 to 6 ohm. And there's some power switches over here too if you're using it in a different country, I suppose. It's got the somewhat common screw down. You just stick your bare wire in there and tighten them up. So that's what those are looking like. Oh yeah, there's a ground here also for the record player. Okay, this one's in really nice shape. It's fully functional. And quite powerful. So, we'll talk about the features a little bit here. Got your standard power button here, which is a mechanical switch, headphone jack, speakers A and B. It's got an A and B set, and then you can run both A and B. And it also has these watt meters here, which is pretty cool. And there's a couple settings for the watt meter. You can turn it off, so you don't want to see that flickering all the time when you're playing music. And then there's another setting here, X1 and X10. That's just if you're listening at lower volumes, you know, you're not going to see any activity on the meters, so you don't see much there. But if you put it in X10 mode, then it's like 10 times less, so it's actually more sensitive. So what you're seeing here on the watts is it's like a 10 times less than what's actually being output. So, and then you got your typical tone controls, bass, although this does have a mid-range. A lot of times you only see a bass and treble. This one has mid-range as well. And then you got your standard input selectors here. that light up. I believe they all light up the same color, yeah. And then you got your tone control here. You can defeat, of course. That's a nice feature if you just want direct through sound to not utilize anything here to change your tone settings. And then you got a record selector here just for all your different inputs. And there's a muting button here. This one basically takes signal down by 20 dB. So if you just want to drop it, you can do it that way by a set fixed amount. And then there's your loudness control there, on, off, and then your balance. Of course, your volume control, and then you got your filters. Just a high and low frequency filter, in or out. And then this unit's got a nice feature. It'll do moving magnet and moving coil. A lot of these receivers don't have that, where they can do both, but this one can do both. So that's kind of nice. A lot more versatility there. I'll turn this down. And you'll see the volume they use an attenuation number instead of 1 through 10. It's just a different way to represent volume. So, but yeah, this thing is nice. It's really big. Well, I say not that huge, but it's quite heavy, and it's built really well. And I'll play a little bit, just a sound through it. I've got a little music player here. I always just play some of my son's piano practice so that I don't get any copyright strikes from YouTube. Got that turned down. Switch it to A. And turn nothing too exciting there, but see how that drops it down quite a bit. And everything works really nice. There's no scratchiness. All the switches work great. It's really a nice unit. And I really like this red that they used on the pointers. It just kind of sets them off and gives us a little bit more of a unique look. So yeah, really nice unit. It's got a nice display on it, and just nice aesthetics. I really don't think they make them like this anymore. It's a nice piece. So, and if you're interested in the inside, this is what it looks like. Got your big toroidal transformer there, big Nichicon filter caps, pretty stout heatsink. There's all your transistors down there for your power outputs. Kind of a unique mounting method, it looks like. They're kind of horizontally mounted down there. And there's the rest of it. So yeah. And then the only other thing I wanted to show is here's the specs on it. This is right out of the owner's manual. So, all right, that's all I had for this one. Thanks for viewing.